Today I have a special guest in my little studio. It's Anna Zagorski from the German Environmental Agency, who enabled the event that we just did in Berlin, our Green Coding Summit, supported it, financed it, everything. Anna, you want to briefly introduce yourself that people know who you are and what your role is at the German Environmental Agency?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. It's very nice to see you again, Max. Yeah, my name is Anna Zagorski. I'm a researcher at the German Environment Agency, or in German, the Umweltbundesamt. And yeah, my role is that I'm researching in the topics of sustainable digital infrastructures and sustainable software, green coding, and yeah, everything connected to green IT, you can say so. Yeah.
That brings us to the first question already right away. Why green IT, Anna? Like, why does the German Environmental Agency or the UBA care about green IT? Why?
Yeah, actually, the green IT topic is very old in the German Environment Agency. I think my colleague Marina Köhn developed it already 20, 30 years ago. And yeah, I mean, we have a lot of topics um, on the agenda very early, and this topic popped up, I think, in the 90s and later on. And yeah, so we catch up this topic and yeah, have now a big portfolio on different topics from green software to green data centers.
Okay, so green IT contains the data center topic, but it also contains the software engineering topic. So that's also probably why you helped us organize this Green Coding Summit, right? Like for you, like software is part of that green IT thing, or how do you look at it?
Yeah, I mean, green software and green coding is this small part of green IT, and then you have this bigger context of green, yeah, software, and then here is, you can say, green IT in general, which contains everything from data centers to networks to from Blue Angel and yeah, the green software, of course, as well.
Yeah, the Uber also developed a actually very well-known certification, right? Because you just mentioned it, the Blue Angel. Is that only for data centers or also for software?
Yeah, the Blue Angel is a very old eco-label. It exists already for more than 40 years, and it's an eco certification from the German government, and it's existing for yeah, for old paper and also for hardware products and for data centers. And now 2 years ago we developed this eco label also for sustainable software. So this is, you can say, the first eco label for sustainable software worldwide. So we are pioneer on this topic. Yeah.
And there's already like one piece of software certified. I know from our common friend Josef at KDE, there is Okula, the PDF reader, has already gotten the certification, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so the first software which was awarded with this eco label was the, yeah, as you say, the Ocular, the PDF reader. And yeah, now we're extending the scope of the Blue Angel for software, because until now it was only for desktop software, because we needed also to start with something. But of course, there are so different and so many different digital software products. There are mobile apps and everything. From client server to cloud services, and yeah, now we extend it this year, the Blue Angel, to mobile apps and client server applications.
That's really nice. I will add the link in the comment of this video for everybody who wants to look at it later after our stream is done. Now, sorry, I got a bit sidetracked, but I think it's interesting to know that there is an eco label for software already, and that there is some criteria defined. And I know it's also available in English, so that's nice. But we have to talk about our event. So the Green Coding Summit, Anna, of course, you were there both days. What did you like? What are your key takeaways? What were your highlights? What did you take away from the event?
Yeah, my impression was that yeah, green coding and sustainable software and sustainable digital infrastructures in general, yeah, it's a really popular topic right now. It was not the case 5 years ago, I think. And this event showed me that we definitely need to go on this topic. And there was so much interest from very different sides. We had the academic world, the scientific side, and we had the industry side. And we had also medium-sized companies and smaller startups, and everybody is working on this topic. And I think it was so interesting to see what kind of different work is coming from different sides. And yeah, so the interest is definitely there, and now it needs to be consolidated, yeah, through funding, of course, and through further events. So I hope we can organize some similar event next year.
Yeah, I think that everybody who was there would appreciate that. I think we also said it at the event, you and I. I think the first time when we opened in the keynote, the first time we did an event on green coding or on sustainable software and that entire frame. I think we had like 30 or 40 people there. It was like a hackathon. I think the second time we maybe had 50 or 60 people there, and this time it was 200 people and completely sold out. So yeah, I would also say, like, if that is a way to measure interest or a way to measure how the topic has been expanding over the last couple of years, I think that's a very good indicator for a growing interest across the IT community in reducing their environmental impact, or at least measuring it. Let's say that for now. So I'm glad that also it resonated with you and you took the same away. I felt really energized afterwards, I have to say.
Yeah, me
um,
too. You're right. Yeah.
yeah. Is there are there, like, if you could name like one or two highlights, like things that really stood out to you from either one of the panels or one of the talks that you saw, or from the workshops on the second day? Was there something that you were really surprised about?
Yeah, from the workshops, actually, I was organizing so much stuff, so I had enough opportunity to watch the different speakers. So I would hopefully now at Christmas time. I think the whole program was interesting, and it was cool that we made a broader context, not only sustainable software and green coding, but sustainable digital infrastructures in general. So yeah, this was a really nice highlight. And yeah, for me also the highlight was simply the location itself. It was so great to speak there and to simply to organize this event. And yeah, the first Green Coding Summit in this location. Next time we just need an organist to play some music on the organ.
That would be really nice. Yeah, I think it's yeah, I agree with you. Like the location itself was so iconic, the French Dome in Berlin. I think yeah, I wouldn't mind speaking there again. I think that it's just such a wonderful setting. I agree with you, and I have the same problem as you. I did not get to watch all of the talks, but I agree with you. I think the conversation was a lot broader. And in a good way. I also appreciated Marcel Dorsch, one of your colleagues. He gave like an overview of the CODIS, the coalition. I always mess up the name. It's from the United Nations, the Coalition for Digital.
Digital infrastructure, digital environmental infrastructures.
Okay, yeah. Then I a shout out to that as well. Again, CODIS. That's how I remember it. And I think it was good to get a little bit of perspective, and also the different communities and different efforts worldwide that are working on this. Yeah, so I like that a lot. Now, you on the second day you also did a workshop, and the goal of the workshop was to recap the event a bit, to also collect some key ideas. as well as maybe talk a little bit about what are next steps, what can we do in terms of education or projects. How did the workshop go? I think I remember passing it. I was not in it, but looked pretty full. How did it go?
Yeah, we had as we said, a small recap workshop at the second day of the summit, and yeah, we went to the workshop with the following questions: what were the learnings from the summit? Yeah, how is the situation of green coding in your own organization? And the third question was about the future outlook. So, what support do you need to implement green coding in your own organization? And yeah, what was interesting for me that people see it as a kind of grassroots movement that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, so I hope this grassroots movement will be successful in the future. And yeah, regarding the first questions, yeah, what the learnings were, outcome was that yeah, as I said, it's still a niche, but we need, yeah, some kind of corporate readiness of the tools. And regarding the second question, what is the situation of green coding in their own organization? I would summarize it like, yeah, green coding is still a decision that comes from the organization itself, and it's not something that you do in your organization anyway. So, and the IT landscape is also very diverse. So yeah, this means that all the tools presented are somehow useful, but of course it depends very much on the corporate context, what kind of tools you can use. And of course the aspect of transparency, a word that we mentioned 100 times already, was of course mentioned. And yeah, the third question, which was the most exciting question for me, namely what support the community will need in the area of green coding in the future. Here, many people agree that we need better networking between the academic world, the industry, but also with the open source community, which we did with the summit, of course. We need more funding and more training, more meetups, and yeah, green coding must come also from the demand side, which means from the industry and from the companies. And I also announced a project on the summit that I would like to launch, hopefully next year, a green coding curriculum where different um, people from the academic world as well as from the industry and the open source scene can develop content on this curriculum. I think there are already a lot of tools, but I think it's necessary that we can structure and yeah, to develop a real curriculum for the academic world and also the industry.
I agree. I think there's a lot of the pieces are out there, the content is out there, but it's about like bringing it a bit together and gluing it together. I think that I was in Paris also talking about this last week, and I think one thing that the lady from AFNOR pointed out, the standardization body of France, was that she said they actually need this is exactly what she sees as the missing piece is somebody needs to do the unification work. Somebody needs to bring all the tools together, all the methods, and basically do this effort of saying like, okay, this is what this method is good for. This is what this tool is good for. So also to lay the foundation for more standardization in a way. And at the moment, it's a lot of people doing lots of different things, and it needs a bit more uniformity. We also didn't really get to talk about it at the event, but now that you say it again, I want to drop in that we are going to still launch the Green Coding Wiki as well to bring some of that information already together. We're typing as fast as we can and aggregating all the content we already had in the SDIA Knowledge Hub to really make that its own place. And maybe a lot of people can benefit from that knowledge already being centralized a bit. I think it's a small step in the right direction, I hope.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, Anna. Is there, if you can make one wish to the whole world that might be watching this video on the topic of green coding, what would that wish be?
Just Merry Christmas, and I think you need to switch off your laptop and just to have some time of some detox time of all the techniques and all the IT stuff surrounding us. So,
That's good. Mental reset, and also saves a lot of energy if we all turn off our computers over Christmas. I think that doesn't hurt.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining me, Anna. I'm sure we're gonna see you a lot more in my little studio in the coming months to talk even more about green coding and all these things that are going to happen next. But today, I want to thank you for joining me, and yeah, Merry Christmas if you for all of you who are watching. It's almost time. In the Netherlands, there was already Sinterklaas here, but we're going to wait for Santa Claus next.
Yeah,
Thank you all for watching.
yeah, thank you, Max. Merry Christmas. Yeah.